Chuck Cunningham syndrome. No, not that weird rash on my unmentionables. It's the tragic loss of a TV character who just wasn't interesting enough to keep around on the show. These people might have been around for years, but one day they vanish from the face of the earth, never to be seen or heard from again. Do they think we're not going to notice? I mean, come on, we're fans. We'd notice if one of the characters was eating a peanut butter sandwich when 4 seasons earlier that very same character had a throwaway line about a nut allergy. Get your together! With that in mind, I'm Adam Wilborn from What Culture, and this is 10 TV characters who disappeared without a trace. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to stay notified. Ding, ding, done. Number 10, Chuck Cunningham, Happy Days. The patron saint of disappearing siblings. Chuck featured in 11 episodes of the first season of Happy Days. He was away at college, so only appeared sporadically, but when he did show up, he was almost always carrying a basketball. But then season 2 rolled around and he disappeared like my last girlfriend. He just went upstairs one day and never came back. The family seemed to forget that he ever existed too. Mr. Cunningham even goes so far as to reference his 2 kids. Ouch. Poor Chuck is still probably sitting upstairs in that room waiting for a pick-up basketball game that'll never come. Number 9. Judy Winslow, Family Matters. Judy Winslow was the youngest daughter of Carl and Harriet Winslow. I say was because all of a sudden she seemingly got kicked out of the family. 5 seasons into the show's run, see ya! It's inexplicable that the writers would remove such a main character to the show. But if it had to happen, they should have at least written a line or 2 explaining where she was. Where's Judy? Oh, she's in military school, ran off to join the circus, fell through a wormhole and is now in another dimension. Literally any of those would have made more sense than just pretending that she never existed. Number 8. Bobby, All My Children. The producers decided that there were too many Martins running around on All My Children and decided it was time for Bobby to go bye-bye. They sent him up to the attic to get his skis, despite the fact he was about to head off to summer camp, and he just, never came back downstairs again. The most galling part about this whole mess is that it's a soap opera. There are literally limitless possibilities to write off characters. Have him die from a rare blood disease, or get eaten by a werewolf, or fall down a well for 10 years until the character can be played by an adult actor and not have to deal with those pesky child labour laws. Never let it be said, however, that they didn't have a sense of humour about their writing. Years later, a character went up to the attic only to find a skeleton wearing a ski cap with the name Bobby on it. Well played, sir. Number 7. Detective Kate Lockley, Angel. A tough-as-nails skeptic that was alternating allies and enemies with Angel, depending on which episode it was, Kate Lockley was an LAPD officer that provided a link into the real world of investigation to the supernatural detective, giving the writers an easy way for Angel to obtain information from the police. But as the narrative structure of the show shifted ever so slightly away from its original detective theme, they didn't really know what to do with her. She was as useful as an ejector seat on a helicopter. So they got rid of her. 1 minute she was one of the show's main characters, then she was gone faster than you can say, arg. Number 6. Grace Miller, Scrubs. When a TV show develops a breakout star, a knee-jerk reaction is to try and replicate their success by creating a similar character of the opposite gender. Think Amy in The Big Bang Theory. But not all attempts are so successful, like when Scrubs tried to recreate a female version of Dr. Cox. The result was Dr. Grace Miller, and it didn't take anyone very long to realise that they really hadn't thought this idea through. Dr. Cox is a fantastic character, but he's dangerously close on being too much. Put more Cox on the show, and the audience is going to find the whole situation incredibly grating. Trust me, I'd know, working with Jules. The audience didn't embrace the character the way the writers had been hoping for, and she only lasted 6 episodes before being unceremoniously removed. Number 5. Half the cast, Boy Meets World. This sort of thing happens every few episodes on Boy Meets World, so it's best not to get attached to anyone. Topanga once had an older sister named Nebula, only to somehow become an only child. Sean has had 3 different siblings over the years, only one of which is stuck. And then there's Mr. Turner, who has a pretty substantial storyline as Sean's pseudo-adoptive father, which ends after a serious motorcycle accident with Sean praying at the foot of an unconscious Mr. Turner's hospital bed. They close out the episode with Mr. Turner's fate remaining ambiguous and then never bring it up again. Damn, I'm good! Number 4. Tom Milligan, Doctor Who. After the Master takes over the world like what culture will eventually, don't fight it, Martha is sent on a mission to walk the Earth for a year, and along the way, she meets another Doctor, Tom Milligan. They have a brief connection, and Tom gives his life trying to protect Martha. After the world reverts back to its former self, Martha decides to track Tom down, seeing that he's, not dead and all. The next time we see her, she's glowing and has a ring on her finger. Finally, Martha has the Doctor that she deserves. Lovely. But then when she shows up in 10's very last episode, all of a sudden she's married to Mickey. Guys, where the did Tom go? Why even bother writing this whole subplot about her finding him and them falling in love if Martha and Mickey was the plan all along? Don't toy with my damn emotions. I'm a sensitive little flower. Number 3. Tina and Valerie Pinciotti, That 70s Show. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Donna who lived next door to a boy named Eric. Donna had a younger sister named Tina and an older sister named Valerie, who was supposed to be away at college. We met Tina early on in the show, but after the first season episode, we just never saw her again. Valerie, it seems, was just an elaborate figment of the collective Pinciotti imagination, as she is neither seen nor heard. Were Tina and Valerie completely wiped from the minds of Bob, Midge and Donna? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here. Number 2. Sir Ilan Payne, Game of Thrones. Payne was a mute knight who served as the royal executioner and is best known as the man who killed Ned Stark. I'm not crying. You're crying. After that, he made sporadic appearances in Season 2 before disappearing completely. Ilan Payne was played by musician Wilco Johnson, who left the show after being diagnosed with cancer. Thankfully, it proved not to be fatal, and he went into remission after surgery. In theory, the door is still open for Ilan to return. However, since Season 5, the character has been missing from Arya's kill list, suggesting that the show has decided to let him slip away into the background. Consider yourself lucky, fella. Number 1. Ben Geller, Friends. It actually fits in pretty well with Ross's character that he eventually seemed to forget he had a son, the mad bastard. Ben was the son of Ross and his first wife, Carol. And though he lived with his mother and her partner, Susan, he did make frequent appearances on the show. However, he stopped appearing in Season 8 and was only ever mentioned once afterwards, seemingly pushed out after his role was filled by Ross and Rachel's daughter, Emma. Older siblings can no doubt relate to that. One plausible theory is that with Ross's manic behaviour increasing over the series, Carol was eventually awarded full custody of Ben and stopped Ross from seeing him. Or Ben and Ross could have just been on a break. Who knows? And that's our list. Know of any other characters who disappeared without trace? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Adam from What Culture, and I'll see you soon.
Hello, you made it all the way to the end of the video, aren't you good? While you're here, we have other channels that are probably also quite nice, so why not give one of those a little watch? You never know, you might find something you like, or who knows, I might be there as well. Ooh, spooky.